Welcome. Week 15 NFL Barley Forge breakdown. This is going to be fun. We got a lot of exciting fireworks that are coming up as we break down game by game. Van and I are going to be here with you the whole time. Thank you to Barley Forge. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button below. Make sure you ring that little bell. And we're looking forward to spending some time with you here on the Vandershark Show. La Slancha.
La Slancha. Take a moment to talk about this. Barley Forge here. This is called
Frank the Dank. You gotta love it. This is a big double IPA, 8.3%. You guys, if you haven't been over there to Costa Mesa to the brewery, you gotta go.
It's a great place.
The food's great. The people are even better, especially if you're able to run into Van and I over there. And
you never know.
I tell you what, just super good, and we're really glad to have them as a part of our show and represent them every single
So hopefully
week.
We'll see you out there.
Let's get right into game one. Go for it.
All right. Well, hey, we start out with Texans v. Jets.
Yeah.
And wow, you know, the Jets, they have this interesting scheme right now, this winning formula. It's called, hey, let's just sew up and see if we play lights out or not. You know, we can just generally suck, and that's okay too.
Well, we were talking about it earlier too, Van. Them and the Buffalo Bills have the exact same mindset is, let's just see whatever we can accomplish this week.
Yeah, and it's so you don't really know who's going to show up. They do have a defense, all right? However, it doesn't really matter. What matters right here is the Texans, all right? They can seal their playoff position with a win here.
They're in a good spot.
So they need to win. This is a must-win situation for them.
And I don't think they're going to have a lot of trouble, Van. And I think you and I agree. I think the Jets are going to get walked on a little bit here.
Yeah.
Houston's really firing on the cylinders that you need to be firing on in late November and early December in an NFL season. And you're starting to see their trend line grow. Their teamwork is incredible. The ball movement is great. Let's talk about Deshaun Watson for just a second.
Please, let's talk about him.
Please.
And, you know, we were talking about comparing him to quarterbacks before.
Sure.
And, you know, we bought up some different ones we went through, and we talked about one guy that everybody wants to compare him to, Vic, and we're going like, no, that just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work for me.
But who did you come up with? And I immediately agreed.
No, instantly. And I like to compare him to Randall Cunningham. You're talking about a guy that has presence in the pocket, a guy that can fling the ball off his back foot, off balance, 60 yards downfield accurately. His rushing comparison between himself and Randall Cunningham is going to be very similar. And the way that they control a game, I really like the way that Deshaun Watson is leading his team. And when you're talking about the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, in the rhetoric, when you're talking about ESPN and you're talking about all the other news stations right now that are telling you who the best quarterbacks are, I'm sorry, I'm not hearing Deshaun Watson's name for some reason.
Strangely enough.
I'm hearing a lot of other guys.
And now, he came back to earth a little bit last week, but he has been on a tear. He's been on an absolute tear. And this is his sophomore year.
Yes, it is.
Coming off of a knee injury, all right? And the guy looks confident. He's got wheels. He is, well, you can't say he's the running game when you have a running back that goes for some major yards.
Yeah, this is true.
All right. But it's a team that has been known for defense for so long, but not anymore. I mean, anymore, it's the Deshaun Watson show, and that's what we're going to be seeing this weekend. We're both picking the Texans, right?
We're both picking the Texans,
so
absolutely. And, you know, whether or not Darnold plays or not, I don't know if that's a major factor in what could happen on the Jets' offensive side of the ball. Jets fans, I apologize. I'm sure you pretty much realize your season's over with, and it doesn't really matter. So you just want your young rookie quarterback in Darnold, who's fantastic, to get better week after week and stay healthy. You want to be able to put him into game time situations that he can learn from and then look forward to what you can do next year.
And your defense is really there. You got a lot going for you. But, you know, rather than break them down, let's talk about, you know, Jets fans, for the longest time, they were referred to as Browns fans with style, okay? Because your team pretty much sucked, but at least you had New York style going for you.
At least your color was green. I'm a St. Patrick's baby,
there you go.
Green's my favorite color, and at least you had a green uniform.
But now with the Browns versus the Broncos, which is the next game we're going to break down.
Let's move right into it.
Let's point out that the Browns aren't like that anymore, are they? Not only do they have a defense, they got an offense, they have a QB, and a running back, okay? Mayfield and Chubbs. And in this game right here, you're actually looking at the matchup being QB and running back versus QB and running back, because on the other side you have...
Well, I mean, come on. The Broncos side of the ball, Case Keenum right now is quietly playing well. But let's talk about Lindsey, the running back for Denver. This guy's explosive. He's fast. He moves away from pressure. He finds the hole and he explodes through it. And you know, if you're going to hit him, he can move. But you also said it earlier when we were talking in the green room, Van. This guy's stocky. He is not frail. He's small, but he's mighty.
Exactly. He has thick.
Right.
He is thick. He's the bowling ball with speed.
Sure.
And he goes through, and he's a tough guy to tackle. It's hard to get a good beat on him because he is so small.
Sure.
It's hard to find, you know, tall running backs. One of the reasons that you don't have a lot of them in the NFL is they get T-boned as they're going down the field from the side. There's a large area to hit where you can unload on a player like that.
I seem to remember Ronnie Lott hitting a guy named Bo Jackson back in the day from the side, and I think that ended somebody's career, didn't it?
The echo of that hit is still going around the world, and you hear it every once in a while as it keeps coming around.
Oh, Ronnie Lott, by the way, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
You want to talk about some of the greatest
big
hits
hitter?
in the history?
Ronnie Lott. Okay, there you go.
That's it.
All right, but
synonymous.
in this game, the Browns and the Broncos. All right.
Which side of the ball you on?
I'm picking the Browns.
You've been with the Browns all season, and I don't blame you.
Broncos are a tough out, though, man.
They're playing in Denver and
Mile High.
At Mile High. I think Lindsey's going to be the ipso factor for the Denver Broncos.
And
I'm going to go on the other side. I'm going to go on the other side of the ball. Denver's defense is underrated. I think Denver shuts them down, and we're going to see something in the neighborhood of 28-14 kind of game.
And not only is the Denver defense underrated, something else it is old. It's got a lot of old guys. Now, they have the one rookie who's doing really
he would
well.
know something about that.
Exactly. And let me tell you from experience, it sucks, okay? So, and on the other side, the Browns, I don't care who they've got on their team. They're young.
Right.
Every single one of them. I mean, everybody in there is young. So I think later in the season, in December, I think this starts catching up with you, and I think that's why the Browns have a good chance. But they are in Mile High Stadium. Yeah.
They are in Mile High, and it's hard. It's hard to win there, especially.
But I'm taking the Browns. Okay.
Good. I got the Broncos. We'll see where this goes.
Who do you take?
Who do you pick? That's what really matters to us.
Comment below. We're really interested in starting.
We want to hear what you have to say.
Okay.
So let's move on. Game number 3 of the week.
Before we go one more pick.
Go.
Who's going to have the bigger game, Chubb or Lindsey?
That's a very good question. I think Lindsey's going to pull it out,
and I think Chubb's going to have the bigger game.
All right,
because he's Chubb.
Hey, listen, I've got Chubb on my fantasy team as a starter this week.
So you're quietly rooting for me.
So I would love for you to be right.
So it's a win-win.
It is a win-win for me. But I don't think Lindsey. I don't think that the Cleveland defense has an answer for a guy as fast, powerful, and smart as Lindsey.
Oh, he is.
And so we're going to see fireworks out of this guy this week. He's going to make Case Keenum's job a whole lot easier.
All right, well, let's go on to the next game because it's really a lot of interesting games this week. And to prove the point, the next game we have up is the Cardinals versus the Falcons, the Bird Bowl.
That's about all we think about that one.
Okay, you know what they say, right? You throw the ball.
What did we say we wanted to say about this game?
You throw the ball.
That was it?
You hit the ball. And some days you get rained out.
Rained out.
That's what we got to say about that game.
Yeah, Cardinals, Falcons.
Good luck, guys. Okay.
Have a nice Sunday, okay, gentlemen?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the next game, wow, a lot going on here. Bucks, who is a team in flux.
They're in flux, but they're also in the hunt if they win out.
Oh, yes. And going against the Falcons, who have made a decision. All right, they have decided that...
the Bucks are playing the Ravens.
Oh, excuse me.
We moved on from the Falcons here.
Thank you. But it is actually good because it's the Ravens who have made the decision to move on to the future. Flacco is now healthy enough to start, but he is not starting. The coach came out and said he will be backing up. He is the number 2. They have moved on to the guy who has gone 3-1 in his absence.
How do you feel about that, Van? What do you think about this decision?
I think that they should have moved on from him ever since they gave him that big contract and he sucked for so many years.
Come on, you're talking about a Super Bowl champion MVP. I mean, come on.
That's what he was until he signed that contract. Once he signed that contract, he's been a subpar player. And over the recent time, now at the beginning of this season, he looked good. for about 4 games, and then he started regressing.
I guess I'm a bit of a Flacco fan. I've always liked
him.
He
was good. And he was, Super
and listen,
Bowl,
I agree completely that he is definitely on the backside of the slope in regard to his career. And I think the choice to go with Lamar is smart by the office of the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
And I think if they can keep a guy like Flacco on staff behind Lamar, teaching him and mentoring him, hey, I am a Super Bowl champion, MVP.
That's not an accident.
No, and Lamar Jackson can learn from that. You could end up seeing, at some fraction, the same type of a passing of the mantle that you did from, Joe Montana to Steve Young, or from,
that wasn't a passing of the mantle. That was a ripping it out of somebody's hand. Okay, that's
but you know what I mean.
But yeah,
when you have this professional in front of you or behind you, it makes you better. And I hope that that's what takes place in Baltimore, and I hope Lamar can continue to benefit from that.
I think it is what is happening because, and Lamar is winning by being a winner.
Right.
Okay, not by sitting back and picking them apart a la Peyton Manning. That isn't his thing. He has like 475 yards rushing.
Rushing is ridiculous for this
dude right now. I mean, and he hasn't been playing every game.
You know what's really great about it? It's kind of uncanny. He does not have most quarterbacks who have a rushing mentality. Van, you'd agree with me. When they drop back, they're almost instantly looking for the opportunity to rush. They're not waiting that patient 1 to 2 seconds that they need to allow their receivers to run their routes, or they just instantly start to run. We mentioned a guy earlier that did that monumentally named Michael Vick.
Yeah.
He was always looking to run.
Yes.
This guy's not. He's running when it's opportunistic for him to run,
but
he is not worried about standing in the pocket.
No.
He's not worried about taking on some pressure. He knows how to bounce outside.
And he's looking downfield.
I like the way he's playing football, and I think Flacco's going to make him better. So let's talk about the other side of the ball for a second. Who's going to show up for the Bucs?
Well, it's going to be either Jameis or Winston, but we don't know who that is.
No.
But either by the half, you don't know who that is.
For a quarter by quarter, you don't know who that is.
It really is. I mean, there's no denying the guy's talent. But, I mean, you go back, again, still from Bull Durham, $1 million talent, 5-cent head.
5-cent head.
So, I mean, there you go. They have the wide receivers. Yeah. They have the defense, kind of.
No.
All right.
Listen, they've been famous for their defense for the last few years, but they're not competitive defensively this season. And it's cost them a lot of games. There's been a lot of points scored against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense for a reason. Their secondary's banged up. They don't have a lot of pressure in the face of those wide receivers. The quarterbacks are having a field day against them, and that's exactly.
Have you talked yourself into or out of going with the Bucs? Because they're your Bucs.
Oh, I wasn't going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from the word one.
All right,
you and I are both on the Ravens side of the ball, baby, and you knew that.
Is there anybody out there that's a Bucs fan?
Don't listen to a word he says. Please, I mean, come on.
Please comment below. We want to hear about it.
Come on, seriously. On every single one of our games of the week, Van and I want you to chime in. Let us know who you think wins. Put it in the comment section. We will respond and let you know exactly how we feel about what you think as well.
And the next game as well, which is Lions, who, I don't know, we might have somebody around who knows a little bit about the Lions, versus a team, we talked about them at the beginning, the Jets. They have the same winning formula, the Bills. Hey, let's show up.
Let's show up and see what happens.
Hey, let's do that. Wow.
Maybe something good will happen.
It could.
Yeah. And, the Lions aren't playing for much. There's not a lot they can do. They're at the bottom of their division right now. They're practically at the bottom of their conference. And they're just really trying to figure things out. I think they made some moves that hurt them a little bit this season, but at the end of the day, we're dealing with Kerryon Johnson, who could have been the Rookie of the Year had he not missed the last 3 games. He's out. Our backup running back is subpar at best. And we might not be playing with Matthew Stafford this week, Van.
But other than that,
we could win. Listen, the Lions are still going to beat the Bills.
And here's why. Is because what the Lions have demonstrated to me this year is Patricia is a good enough coach to where if your team is a subpar team, Lions are going to play good against you.
Sure.
And that's what happened last week, okay? They dominated last week on defensive side of the ball. And
I think anybody can beat Arizona. I think modern-day high school right here in Southern California could go play the Arizona Cardinals right now and win. So you're not giving the Lions any credit by talking about what they did last week.
I wouldn't bet my money on them. Okay, in that game. Okay. So basically, we're both taking the Lions.
Oh, sure.
All right,
absolutely.
and you should too. All right, and that's just the way it is.
Please do. But if you have any Detroit Lions on your fantasy football team, make sure that you leave them on your bench, because I do not think there's going to be a lot of point value that you'll see there.
No.
Especially Kenny Golladay. If Matt Stafford's not flinging the ball, if they've got somebody else in there, I don't even know who their backup quarterback is, man. I'm a little embarrassed.
I think it's the wide receiver, Golladay.
It might be. It might be stepping in. Theo Riddick's going to play quarterback for the Detroit Lions. So we just don't know what's going to happen in that game. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really have any implications. No. But moving on, the Packers and the Bears game could be big, because the Bears seal this thing.
They win?
They win.
They're in.
They're in.
That's it.
So come on. I mean, we're talking about.
But there's one problem and one game to talk about that problem. And the problem is Aaron Rodgers. And why that's a problem now, and it wouldn't have been earlier, is if you look at Aaron Rodgers' stats for the first part of the season, okay, up until last game.
Right.
They were an issue. One of the few quarterbacks, the best quarterback in the NFL, whose stats went down in this explosion of offense that has happened, unless you're playing the Cowboys.
I don't even know how you can call Aaron Rodgers the best quarterback in the NFL.
But then last week happened. And they had fired the coach, McCarthy, so now the interim coach comes out. The shackles are off.
Have you ever seen a team in flux with a head coach out and an interim head coach stepping in, and all of this upheaval going off in the back office, the front office, and on the field? Have you ever seen a team succeed in that scenario?
Rarely. There's again, they have somewhat the same situation here that the Jets and the Bills did.
Sure.
Hey, let's show up. We might play great football.
Hey, listen, but I'll tell you what, you're not going to beat the damn Bears. You're not going to beat them. The Bears look so freaking good.
That defense, man. That defense.
Khalil Mack is the...
But now Aaron Rodgers gets his toy back. But listen, he gets his toy back.
But how good? Yeah, he does. Aaron Rodgers gets Randall Cobb. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Randall is a comfort blanket for Rodgers, and Randall knows how to find those little pockets that nobody knows exists, that Rodgers, when he's in trouble, he can not even look.
And Rodgers,
you guys, all you Green Bay fans, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Aaron can close his eyes and throw the ball to a particular spot on the field, and he knows Randall Cobb's going to be sitting there.
The force is strong.
They've done it so many times, it's not even funny. But that's not enough. It's not enough. Aaron Jones is not enough. Their running game is going to get shut down. There's going to be no respect for the passing game.
I am so tempted to take the Packers here.
Oh my God! Please take them. Please take them.
But I'm not going to. I'm going to take the winner. I'm going to take the Bears. I'm going to take the monsters of the Midway. With all of this offensive explosion that's going on in the NFL, I mean, and we're going to get about it. This game was almost the game of the week, but
very close to game of the week.
Better game, we think. It took it out. But with Kansas City, the offensive explosion, the Rams, I mean, you can't even look at wide receivers hard anymore. Flag, okay.
But defense wins championships.
The Cowboys, the Bears, look at what they're doing.
Look at what they're doing. They're shutting these guys down.
They shut down the number 1 offenses in the league.
And how good are the Chicago Bears at bringing up a monster linebacker?
Oh,
you've got Khalil Mack. Let's go back in time. You got Mike Singletary. Let's talk about Brian Urlacher. Let's talk about Dick Butkus.
Whoa,
let's talk about
the man.
Where do you go if you want to be a successful linebacker? The Chicago Bears.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he is creating an epicenter in that defense that nobody else can match. Right. And I'm sorry, I just don't think the Packers have what it takes.
And they actually have a draft choice linebacker that's doing really well.
Tariq Cohen is going to rush.
But it doesn't matter.
Tariq Cohen's going to rush 5 times for 80 yards, and he's going to catch the ball 5 times for another 80 yards, and he's going to have 2 touchdowns. The Packers.
Here's the other thing that they
don't have an answer to Tariq Cohen.
This is another matchup. When you're looking at which team is going to win and which one's going to lose, you compare running backs, you compare wide receivers, you compare head coaches.
Yes.
Over on one side, you have Matt Notch, and he is the bomb for the Bears. Over on the other side, you have an interim coach. Okay, there you go. So on that alone. Okay, that is what's going to win that game.
Absolutely.
Well, let's move on to the next game. Again, a raft of really interesting
Real quickly,
games.
though, by the way, the reason we spend a little bit extra time on that game is because that was almost our game of the week, guys.
Almost.
And we want to hear what you have to say too.
Oh yeah.
Do you agree with us? Do you think that should have been our game of the week? Come on, Packers fans, chime in. We want to hear what you have to say. Do you think you guys stand a chance against the Bears this week?
Hey, and out there on Twitter, shoot us an answer. We got some guys that are monitoring that. Shoot us a question or an answer. There you go. Yeah.
Hit it. Oh, come on.
The great comment. Give me the answer.
Let everybody.
The envelope, please. Okay. All right. Now, the next game is Raiders v. Bengals. And the only thing I want to talk about this game is the best meme I've seen of last week on Twitter. And it was with Amari Cooper, a former Raider, going off in the second half. I don't know how many yards, 3 touchdowns, whatever.
Amari Cooper.
Khalil Mack.
Gruden's sitting there going, oh my God, if I only had these two amazing players, I might be competitive this year.
Yeah, would we be good or what? Wow, we would really be good.
Wow, what it would be like if I had Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper
but they don't.
on my team.
But they don't, all right? And then on the other side, the Bengals have everybody in the world injured. The QB checked out. A.J. Green, I believe, is out.
No, AJ's out for the season. He's done. He had surgery on his foot.
So, and you can't blame him. I'm like, oh yeah, my foot. I hurt my foot.
Yeah,
exactly.
I want to give a little shout out to Eddie Nashville too. He's the super fan for the Cincinnati Bengals. He's promoting right here on YouTube.
Oh,
guys, look for him. I tell you, this is a lifelong friend of mine. I've known him since I was a toddler. And
he is a great fan.
No, he's great. He's a super fan. He'll break down everything that has to do with Cincinnati Bengals for you. I'd love to give him a little plug, put him up there, and Eddie Nashville will tell you everything you need to know about the entire organization of the Bengals. And what do you need to know? Not much, especially in a matchup against the Raiders.
It's a quick conversation.
It really is. So we're moving on because there's not really a lot more to talk about.
A really good game.
A really, really good game, actually.
Cowboys versus at Colts.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is a good game for a lot of reasons. The resurgence of defense with the Cowboys. The resurgence of, well, hey, let's just talk about a good fantasy move you could have made last week. If you'd have really thought about it and you'd been prescient and you said, you know what, I want to win. I want to win. I'm going to take Dak Prescott and I'm going to slip him into my fantasy lineup, pick him up off the
Ladies and gentlemen, I put Jared Goff on the bench and I started Dak Prescott last week. Oh. Jared Goff had negative fantasy points and Dak had, what, 31 and a half?
He won
blew it up. And here's the thing, I need your opinion. I need you to tell me what to do because I'm deciding between 3 quarterbacks right now. This week I'm deciding. I haven't made my decision yet. I've got Dak Prescott, I've got Jared Goff, and I've got Carr at the Raiders. And I need to decide. Carr is playing against who? I mean, and he's coming off a win over Pittsburgh where he scored quite a few points. Matter of fact, you look at Carr for the last 2 weeks, 26.5-point average on fantasy football. So let's look at Jared Goff in the last 2 weeks, 5.5 points in fantasy football average. And let's look at Dak. The only good game he had was the 31.5. So I've got this tear going on inside me right now. I got 3 quarterbacks to choose from.
The boy's here.
I want to take Carr against the Cardinals.
I think you should.
Because I think that the Cardinals can't stop him, and I think they're going to build on what they did against Pittsburgh, and they're going to just let loose with Carr, and they're going to see some good things on the offensive end. But at the end of the day, could Jared Goff have that bounce-back week?
He better. Okay, and we're going to talk about that.
He really needs to have that bounce-back week.
We'll talk about that in a moment.
Okay, so I want your opinion. I want you to chime in, hit the notification, subscribe, let us know exactly what you think. I need your help, guys. Come on. Give me some input in regard to who I start on my fantasy football team at quarterback.
Goff, okay, because the guy he's playing, I know him. Okay. All right. Anyhow, Cowboys v. Colts.
Yes.
Right? And this is a huge game. If the Cowboys win, they're in the playoffs.
Right.
Okay, which is huge. And when you look at all that was going on and fire Garrett, and boy, you got to give him some credit now. But they're going up against the Colts, who are trying to get in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. They're trying to make some hay, man, and they're doing it.
And they can, by the way.
Yes. Wow. Well, and we talked about this out there. A lot of people are not in the green room before. The Colts just aren't getting the love.
No, they're not.
And you look at what they're doing.
They're not getting the luck either.
Boy, are they getting the luck.
No, they need to get a little bit more attention being paid to the performance that they have.
Well, it's the offense. It starts with the offensive line. They're giving Luck time to throw. He used to be the worst protected quarterback in the league. every year. I mean,
Not
he was
anymore.
going to get hammered. Not anymore. They have the two rookies, Quentin Nelson and Braden Smith.
Yes, Braden Smith, come on.
Oh, dude.
Well, we said this guy's up for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I mean,
or offensive Rookie of the Year. Pardon my Freudian slip there.
But, you know,
I mean, come on. And legitimately, he's a front runner.
He is up there. Well, there's a few of them, and it normally goes to a skill position player, but him and actually the lineman for the Giants as well are being considered and talked. They're making such an impact. He has time to throw, and he's running this offense that Frank Reich brought in, and you're going to mention about where it came from, all right?
Well, it's not where it came from. It's how it matured. This offense was created by Frank Reich and Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was a field general, unlike any other quarterback in the history of the NFL. He could read a defense. Well, okay, the only guy that I would even ever come close to comparing to him is Archie Manning, his father.
Archie was awesome.
I don't care what anybody else says, and you can present whatever you'd like. Archie Manning, probably the greatest quarterback in the history of the game, but played for one of the worst teams.
One of the best quarterbacks
ever. And his son learned everything that he knows from him and was a field general. So here you have Reich and Manning teaching this offense how to play at a time when Luck comes into the game and now is finding his own and has that influence.
Because he can read defenses. He can see things. He can work through his progressions.
There are things happening right now in the Indianapolis offense that you don't see other places in the NFL. And I think that makes them a wild card streamer. You look out for these guys.
I like what you're saying there, because instead of like going downfield all the time, which is what a lot of teams are doing now, they're doing the opposite. They're doing exactly what Peyton Manning did, taking what the defense gives you.
Reacting.
Patient offense, just being patient.
Grinding out those yards.
And then all of a sudden the defense gets impatient, makes some mistakes, and he kills them downtown.
Let's talk about the tight end position for just a second, too, because we were discussing this earlier. I mean, Gronk has pretty much gone onto the side in regards to the best tight end in the league. Travis Kelce absolutely owns that throne. But let's look right below him at what Eric Ebron's been doing this season for the Colts. And it really pisses me off because Ebron was a Detroit Lion, and we got rid of him for some reason or another. I don't know. We got rid of him, and here he is experiencing all the success that he should be experiencing.
Well, he's not a great blocker, never has been, never will be.
No, you put him downfield, man.
They don't ask him to block there. They ask him to go downfield.
Catches everything.
He's really dynamic in that regard.
And he's big, and he can jump.
This goes directly, again, the matchup here in this game, okay, is the Cowboys defense, which is resurgent.
Right.
But they are a classic Tampa 2 bend, don't break defense.
Correct.
They give up yards.
Yes, they do.
And now they're going up against an offense that is designed to be patient.
Yep.
Both of these units are designed to wait for the other unit to make a mistake.
Right.
And both of them are designed to not make that mistake themselves, to be impatient. So it really is going to be a chess match here. I do not think this, a lot of people are saying, yeah, Cowboys are going to win this. No, this is going to be a match. Now, I am picking the Cowboys.
Of course you are. But, hey, listen, there was one other thing that you and I talked about in the green room, and that was Zeke and his 40 touches last week.
Yes.
40 freaking touches. Okay, are they doing this again? Are they going with Operation Give Zeke the Ball?
Well, they need to. I mean, it works. It works. I mean, he got the 40 touches, and what that does is that frees up the combination of Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott.
Right.
And if that's what it takes, then yeah.
I'll tell you what, Amari Cooper is probably one of the single greatest during season ads of any team in the last decade.
Unless you want to talk about Chicago Bears and Khalil Mack.
Well, no. I'm talking on the offensive side of the ball.
Offense and defense.
You like how I just recovered from that very quickly?
That was excellent.
But you look at what he's doing and the way that he plugged and played directly in. I mean, come on. Let's talk about a year ago. Who was the wide receiver that we were talking about in Dallas?
Dez Bryant.
Who was he?
Exactly.
Dez.
And he was dead.
Oh, it was the Dez show!
But he was dead. And Dez actually died
now he's dead
2 years ago.
He's not Dez Bryant, he's dead Bryant.
Pretty much.
Gone. And
he's hanging out in the Saints locker room.
But the Cowboys recognized the opportunity to need to fill the hole of that big play wide receiver. And they looked at Amari Cooper, and I swear to God, they had to be just salivating at the mouth like eating a big old rack of
They gave
baby
up a
back
first-round pick
pork
for it.
ribs, baby.
And I think that was a steal.
I would have given up two first-round picks for him.
He went at like number 4 or something like that, or number 8.
Yeah.
No, it was 8, I think.
He is a first-round pick.
And then next year, the wide receiver crop is really not very good.
It's not very good
so
at all. And they're all
Dallas was giving
small and
up,
slow.
all Dallas was giving up was that 4 years rookie contract.
Right.
They gave that up. Okay.
And you know what? The money factor didn't cost them too much. They are okay with it.
They were already paying Des Bryant a ton of money, so
what Cooper has done.
But look how lucky Dallas Cowboys were.
He's stretching the field, and he's allowing all that extra space for Ezekiel Elliott. Why do you think they gave Zeke the ball 40 times last week?
Because there was room. There was room.
Plenty of it.
Just feed him. Okay. And the thing, look,
it's going to be good. So obviously you're going with the Cowboys.
Well, yeah, and how lucky they are because they tried very hard to sign Sammy Watkins.
Right.
Really hard.
Ooh, that would have been good.
And I didn't want them to because he's a good guy.
He's a little small.
But he is Sammy Watkins, the underachiever.
He's a little small.
Whereas, this guy here became available and they went out and got him.
Yeah, Amari.
Jerry Jones, I got to give you credit again.
Yeah, seriously.
And wow, I agree with you. What an ad.
What an ad. What an ad. I mean, he rounded out their offensive scheme where they were lacking. And they knew they were lacking.
Well, before they just had a left, they didn't have a right.
How do you not have a gap that's created when a guy like Des Bryant leaves your organization? So you knew.
Well, I just thought to
I was trying to give him a little bit of credit. Right. Did you have to laugh? Did he have to laugh when I said that?
I did have to laugh. Okay.
I mean, come on. I was trying to give this guy a little bit of credit. He did not have to laugh when I said it.
The Cowboys, pretty much, without Amari Cooper, they were the sound of one hand clapping.
Fair enough.
It just wasn't there. All right. Now they've got
Fair enough.
All right. So let's move on to the next game because we know they're Cowboys. Are you going to take Cowboys or?
No. You know what? Listen, I'm going to take the Colts just because I want to be the contrarian against your team.
I'm not surprised.
I want to be the contrarian, and I think Andrew Luck's on a bit of a tear, and this one's going to be close. If the Cowboys win, it's going to be a tearjerker, but I think the Colts have a chance, so I'm going to take the Colts against your Cowboys this week.
And so we go from a game which has 2 QBs to a game with no QBs. All right, if you
Matter
can
of fact,
tell me,
if you can chime
right
in
below.
right now, and you can tell us who the quarterback is of the Washington Redskins or the Jacksonville Jaguars,
we will be
amazed.
Amazed because we don't know.
Hold on, wait. I will give you a $50 gift certificate to Carl Strauss Brewing Company
if you enter a ball.
If you can tell us
There's only one of these, so it's the first one.
Exactly who, instantly,
only the first one. Okay.
Who the Redskins and Jaguars quarterbacks are right now.
All right,
go.
There you go.
You got
because I
30
don't know.
seconds.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Tick tock, tick tock. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button, okay? Notification. And on Twitter, by the way, hit it there. First one, either or. All right. Done. And we don't really care who wins the game.
Doesn't matter.
We're not picking. We're not really talking about it.
Nah, why? Jaguars win.
But it was good. All right, now we go to a game that really is interesting.
It does matter.
Really,
it matters a lot, as a matter of fact.
Dolphins and Vikings, and I call this the team that just finds a way to win. The Al Davis team, Dolphins, against the team that's just finding ways to lose, the Vikings.
Right.
I mean, they got talent. I don't understand it.
Plenty of it.
But they find ways to lose every week. The Dolphins just win, baby. They just find ways. And we're going to talk about one thing, and one thing only in this game. We're going to talk about one play from last week, the Dolphins versus the Patriots.
Everybody's talking about this play. I mean, come on.
Man.
It was absolutely incredible. They put Gronk in at safety to prevent this from happening, and yet...
He whipped at the goal line.
What happened?
He whipped at the goal line.
He tripped over his own feet. He made the wrong angle on pursuit, and he didn't get there, and Miami scores... And they win off a double lateral. I mean, just, it's so sad.
It was Sandlot football. It was awesome to watch.
Oh, I loved every second of it. And
we'll talk about it again later when we break down the Patriots
Not as a Patriots fan.
All right, so basically...
But let's talk about the Dolphins and the Vikings. Can the Dolphins take that high of beating their rival? I mean, the number one rival of the Miami Dolphins are the New England Patriots, period. And
Hands
if the
down.
Dolphins beat the Patriots, the Dolphins are unbeatable. So I think they go into this game against the Vikings.
We're both picking the Dolphins.
Born again hard, and I
picking.
think they're going to kick butt. Now, there's one wild card. I am picking the Dolphins, so are you.
There's
one wild card, and that's the running back at Minnesota, and his name's Dalvin Cook. And if Dalvin Cook, the offensive line of Minnesota is so good. They're just so
good.
They
can be. They're
just so good. And if they give Dalvin Cook the space that he needs, this guy can run all over Miami.
I like that word you used. So anyhow, Dolphins, Vikes. I'm curious who you guys think is going to win. We both think that the Dolphins are going to find a way to win. I don't really know how. I can't tell you how.
No, it's going to be. There's going to be fireworks. Let's move on. Titans and the Giants.
And wow, this is actually a game that is. I'm going to watch this game, man. I mean, the Titans are for real, and the Giants are finding ways to be viable. I'm loving what they're doing. You're looking at Saquon Barkley, a kid, rookie, could win the rushing title.
Oh, I think he can win the rushing title and Rookie of the Year.
I mean, he is, wow. The guy is for real.
He's incredible.
He evokes to me, I go back to Barry Sanders when I watch this guy.
No, I'm talking juice.
He is fun to watch.
I'm talking juice. This guy's got Walter Payton in his blood.
And the Giants are on a little winning tear here.
It's like, for me, it's like Kobe Bryant. If you study the way the guy plays the game, the moves he makes, right on the corners, the way he operates on the court.
He's an artist.
No, he's an artist, but he learned everything from Michael Jordan. He watched Michael do it, and then he studied it and he replicated it. Well, guess what's happening in this game? With Saquon Barkley, he is replicating guys like Walter Payton, replicating guys like Barry Sanders, and he has got the athleticism that goes beyond
the vision.
What those guys.
It's just incredible.
It really is, because he is playing on a subpar team, and I don't think anybody would disagree. The Giants are not a good football team.
No.
Yet Saquon Barkley is probably the best running back in the NFL.
And the only reason that the Giants still have the big play downfield is because OBJ to Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, exactly. Odell Beckham Jr. can throw the ball 50 yards and Eli Manning can't.
Unfortunately, he's hurt right now.
I don't care if he's hurt. Put ODB in at freaking quarterback.
No, that's who's hurt. OBJ is hurt right now.
God damn it. Well, I guess they're just, all their offensive passing plays just went back to 12 yards or less.
And we're both picking the Titans to win. Right?
Yes, we are.
We're both picking the Titans to win. The Titans are for real.
I don't give a crap what Saquon Barkley does.
They have the talent.
They don't have anything else, and Titans win. Titans are playing tough football all season.
I love Vrabel.
They know they're in the mix right now, and they are working hard.
They know they're playing good football.
Oh my God, I love what Derrick Henry's doing. Are you kidding me? Did you see him last week?
Oh, man.
The 99-yard touchdown was...
The abuse.
It was insane. The double stiff arm 99-yard touchdown. It's the greatest run. It's the greatest run in the history of the NFL.
No, second. Tony Dorsett, 99 yards.
No, Tony Dorsett didn't get touched.
Oh, yeah, I did. He got touched.
Barely.
His own player got bumped into.
Yeah, a little bit, like on the side.
Kind of helped him into the end.
Derrick Henry was smashing face all the way down the field.
It was a Marshawn Lynch style run.
No, it was a Derrick Henry style run.
All right, there you go. It was fun. Look, we're both.
Anyways, they win. Here's the bottom line. They win. And let's move on. We got the Seahawks and the Niners.
Now, this is almost a derby type thing because these teams don't like each other. No. And it doesn't really matter.
No, it's a good rivalry. It's a Bay rivalry.
Take the Seahawks and go home.
Yeah, that's it, pretty much. Seahawks win.
The running game is clicking. The defense is clicking.
And there's implications for them in the division if they don't win. Russell Wilson's going to throw for a couple hundred yards and 3 touchdowns. He might even rush for 1. No, Seahawks win the game. Let's move on. We're talking about Pats and Steelers. And by the way, this was another contender for our game of the week, guys.
Oh, yeah, so we're going to talk about this specifically because there are 2 teams, neither I would say, that I would want to play after an embarrassing.
Correctly.
Neither of us. If I was going to have to play them after an embarrassing loss,
right?
A game they should have won that they melted and gave away, you would not want to play the Patriots or the Steelers. Either one.
And they both experienced that this week.
And they're playing.
And they're going to play each other, and it is going to be fireworks galore. I'm taking the Steelers.
I'm taking the Patriots.
Yes, I love it. Oh, it's so good. The Steelers are going to dominate. They're going to dominate. Juju Smith-Schuster, Antonio Brown, and Ben Roethlisberger are going to go ape shit on the Patriots secondary, and there's nothing you can do to stop them. The Patriots will not have an answer. They will not have an answer.
I see and acknowledge that the Steelers will dominate in social media in the locker room afterwards, explaining why they lost, and it wasn't Antonio Brown's fault.
31-17. 31-17. Pittsburgh Steelers. You heard it here first. 31-17.
He was on a roll right up till he said the team name at the end. I love the score, but it's going to go the other way.
Dang it, this is going to be good. Chime in, let us know what you think, because listen, this was almost Van and I's game of the week. This was almost the Vandershark game of the week.
So much to talk about.
Barley Forge called us, and they said, you guys better make the Patriots-Steelers game the game of the week, and we're like, I just don't think we can do it.
That close.
We got it. It's got to be the Chiefs and the Chargers.
It's got to be.
There's just too many implications in that game, and we're going to get there soon enough, so let's move on.
Well, we got another game it's actually a little interesting for a lot of reasons here. Eagles at Rams.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's interesting because last season, the Eagles replaced Wentz at quarterback for the last 3 games with a guy named Foles. And it worked out pretty well for them.
Last time I checked.
All the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, last time I checked, it worked out pretty okay that they had Foles fill in.
And now Wentz is probably not going to be playing this week. That's almost assured.
Foles is a definite.
Okay. And may be done for the season. Wentz may be done for the season. All right, this is what we're hearing, is that depending on how it comes back. So Foles could go and replicate. He has the opportunity here to at least do the 3 games.
Right.
Okay, and do what he's going to do.
He just didn't prove to us, Van, and we were talking about this in the green room. He just didn't prove to us that he was the Nick Foles that he was last year when he took over.
No.
He started this season 2 games in a row. Game 1 was atrocious. Even though they won the game, he had like 117 yards and 1 interception.
Foles has been up and down his whole career.
He's been terrible. Yeah. And in Game 2, they lost the match, but he threw a little better, and he was a little bit more of a pocket quarterback, but they still lost the match.
And he had a very poor preseason.
He goes 1-1 in Game 1 and 2 this week, or this year, and then Wentz takes over, and I'm sorry, but Philadelphia has been underwhelming for me this season.
I agree.
Underwhelming. They've had so many troubles at the running back spot. Clements
so
out.
That seems to be taking over. Adams has kind of come in there.
Josh is doing okay, but he doesn't really have any change of pace.
They do have the Lions guy. He's doing good.
Listen,
Golden Tate.
Clements out. Golden Tate's had 1 good game. You've got Wendell Smallwood.
Well, I'm picking the Rams
Darren
anyhow. I don't know if you're trying to convince me or not, but I'm taking the Rams.
No, of course we're taking the Rams.
That's the way that's going to happen.
Unless the Rams are sitting players because they've already clinched their division.
I'm going to take any game, any team that has Aaron Donald on. Okay?
Done.
That's
right there.
I'm taking that team.
Listen, Philadelphia, I'm really sorry. I love your city, and I love your people, and I love your team sometimes. But this week, I'm not going to be able to do it. The Rams are going to kill
Enjoy that brotherly love.
Oh, the Rams are going to kill you guys.
All right, and now let's go into the Monday Night Football game.
Monday Night Football is going to be a hell of a matchup.
Panthers, and wow, it is. Panthers, you've got, the wounded Cam Newton.
But he's still playing.
But they have a running back that is, he's death on a stick.
Listen, McCaffrey, he's the great white hope at running back. This guy is doing things
nasty.
Everybody else in the league wishes they could do. And I don't really care.
Get paid?
Listen, I don't care. I don't care if Cam Newton can't throw the ball 50 yards downfield. You know what he can do? He can drop back, feel that pressure, set up a screen, and dump the ball to McCaffrey, and McCaffrey can go for 15, 30.
Anytime he touches the ball, he's a threat to take it to the house.
And he does. I mean, right now, he's one of the most successful running backs in the league.
They have a nasty defense.
Both in receiving, rushing, touchdowns, and fantasy points. So everybody that took Christian McCaffrey in round 6...
They're smiling right now.
You're smiling right now.
Unless he's sitting on your bench, in which case you're a dip.
Yeah, don't put him on your bench. Don't do
okay.
it. So, do you think McCaffrey makes that much of an impact to where the Panthers actually have a chance to win this game against Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, and the New Orleans Saints?
Glad you brought up Alvin Kamara. We talked earlier about a game that was QB running back versus QB running back. I think this is the same thing here.
Sure.
But which Alvin Kamara are we getting? Are we getting the Alvin Kamara before Jalen Smith of the Cowboys hit him?
Right.
Are we getting the one after who hasn't looked too good? Matter of fact,
you can ring my bell.
totally
you can
done.
ring my bell.
He has not looked good.
No, he's seriously got his bell rung.
But in the second half of last week's game, the Saints offense came alive again. But that was Drew Brees.
It was Drew.
Okay.
It's always Drew. Anything that you want to talk about when it pertains to the New Orleans Saints offense, it comes down to Drew Brees. I don't give a crap how good your running back is. It's Drew Brees.
And actually, that's the reason I'm picking the Saints. It's Drew Brees. Okay? I'm loving all this Panther talk.
Hey, listen, they're both in a must-win situation. Van and I agree. The Saints win this game. I don't really think there's any way that you can defeat. Here's the deal. Let's say it all comes down to quarterback, running back versus quarterback, running back, which is what we've talked about.
Yes.
Which what we shared with you, and we want to hear what you have to say about it as well. Chime in below. Tell us what you think.
Both defenses are great.
Here's the deal. Can Cam Newton beat Drew Brees? No.
No.
No,
especially with a wounded
Can
leg.
Alvin Kamara beat McCaffrey? Abso-freaking-lutely.
He can, but I don't think he will.
Kamara wins the matchup. Brees wins the matchup.
Just like we did earlier.
The Saints win the matchup.
Okay, hold on.
The Panthers shouldn't even show up.
Earlier, after we picked the game, we also talked about the running backs. Okay, which one was going to have the bigger game? Now I'm saying it here. Which running back's going to have the bigger game? I'm picking McCaffrey.
So here's the deal. You guys are going to be here with us on Monday night. We're going to be broadcasting live. We want you with us. Monday Night Football. It's going to be the Saints versus the Panthers. Van and I are going to be here. Vandershark's going to be with you the whole way.
We're going to do a pregame,
halftime, postgame, the whole 9 yards. We're going to make it happen. We got the cat here with us. You guys are going to love it.
Hey, it's a lucky
Everything's
cat,
going to
too,
be great. Oh, we're looking forward to it, you guys. Listen, thanks for being a part of the Barley Forge NFL Breakdown. And
for our Game of the Week pick, you have to go see the Game of the Week.
That you
which
do.
You just follow the tail and you'll see the little eye on top of it.
Game of the Week coming up.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Let's lunch.
Let's lunch.
Oh, you're out. Time to get some fresh beer.
Fresh beers.
Barley Forge.
That was really